We're talking about your life being a mirror.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, let's get into it.
I might I say this in a
The
joking manner,
doc.
but I might need a shot for this one.
You're funny. So yeah, you should look around and we're gonna go right off the document at your results, your routines, and the relationships in your life. How do you feel? Out of alignment with anybody, or do you feel like you're vibing with everything you got going on?
It's so freaking funny that you say this because I'm gonna bring up a little bit of a personal experience and I'll give you like the short version of what happened. This past weekend, I was everything just hit me all at once between not being able to get a couple deals in, quick cash offer, the team I'm on, being a little bit behind on paying off debt and such because I'm trying to catch up on groceries and everything, car payments, all that stuff, and also trying to figure out, okay, how can I utilize my time more in order to do the gym when I haven't made time for it in the morning like I should? How can I utilize my time more to go ahead and make instant pot meals and stuff like that? And adding up all those mistakes, I felt, oh dear God, I'm messing up big time. And the final straw is me realizing that a couple times I've used a Chase card on Apple Pay for my phone. It was my dad's debit Chase card and not my debit card. And I was calling my mom on the phone. I'm like, hey, mom, like I noticed like my card got canceled or whatever. I need to figure out. She goes, oh, dad just canceled his. I'm like, oh, had that moment. And then
Did
me,
he
that was
cancel it
just,
because he thought your charges were fraudulent?
yep. He thought my charges were
Dang.
fraudulent. And he was like, Taco Bell in Orlando on Cinco de Mayo. I'm like, I could explain that one. But no, it
You're
was
like, do
just
you even know me, Dad? I feel like you should have just called right away.
I haven't ate out like that because you guys know how my mom is with health. But all
You're
jokes aside, however,
like, that was a secret Taco Bell run.
cheesy burrito, two tacos, soft tail, and one taco Doritos. But no, it was just adding up all those mistakes between the charges on my dad's card, the stress that I'm having with work, not being able to keep up with payments and such, just because I haven't been able to meet my KPIs. Everything just boiled over towards what the hell am I doing in my life? And it's funny that you mentioned mirroring because this past weekend, I basically had a crash out moment. Like I was on the phone with mom, I was upset, told her I can't do this to you right now. It's you're probably like gonna celebrate David's birthday, my brother, because it was his birthday on the 21st. And I'm like, I need to go to the gym to work this out. So I hung up, but then dad called and then he was like, hey, I was like, Dad, I started tearing. I'm so sorry for like fraudulent charges. I apologize. I am bawling my eyes out hard. And it's been a hot minute since I've done so. And my mindset at that time was, what the hell have I been doing recently that got me to this point? And
Mm-hmm.
why haven't
Or
I found out
haven't you
about it
been
sooner?
doing?
Yeah, that too. What have I not been doing that got me to this point? Was there anybody that I pissed off? Was there something in the mindset to where it just made me more stressed out than before, even though that some things were more or less going the same way as they've always been? Show up 9 to 6, make calls afterwards, make some more calls, or just go home and whatnot. Just big ball of it.
What did Pop say?
Told me to breathe. It's okay. First and foremost, he was glad that it was me using the money and not him. And then he made a joke
Or
about,
Rando?
and he was like, he made a joke about it too with the card about Taco Bell. Really? Mom's gonna
Yeah.
have you for that. I'm like, I know. But all jokes aside, he was telling me like, dude, breathe, be easy. It's the first time for everything, and considering that
Mm-hmm.
you're going through this after the amount of time that you spend up in Orlando, that's a lot. I'm like, yeah, but still, I feel like it's not enough. And he goes, no, you're doing pretty good. Could you put out more? Yeah, absolutely, you could, but you're still figuring it out along the way. And quite frankly, you have nobody else around you. You're still doing your thing, and you should be proud of yourself. And where you at right now? I'm like, I'm about to work out at the gym. He goes, work out at the gym, throw down some weights, blow off that energy, and then once you work out, let me know. Okay. Worked out at the gym, did my thing. He called me like almost exactly right when I got out from the gym. He goes like, how you holding up? I'm like, way better. I'm hungry now. And he goes, good. Now what are you gonna
Mm-hmm.
do? I'm like, get some rest, shower, eat, get some rest, make some calls, try to lock up something tomorrow. And he goes, attaboy.
Yeah, I would invite you to figure out where you're not feeding yourself. And I don't mean food. Like,
Mm-hmm.
where are you not prioritizing you? Where are you not filling your own cup? Because that's literally what this call is all about. It's all internal. Not, I know you mentioned who did I piss off? What am I not doing? It's more about what are you not giving yourself? Because if you're fulfilled, if your cup is full, if you're eating right, sleeping right, working out, talking to the people you want to talk to, feeding Daniel, then you're going to output much better. Like your self-talk, the way you said, like, where am I messing up, all the mistakes I made, that none of that is helpful, right? To make you feel, not that you have to pacify yourself, like, yes, you aren't where you want to be, you're not succeeding the way that you want to, but more importantly, you're probably not taking care of you either.
Pretty much. Because in a way of speaking, I was in a conversation I had with one of the media guys that we have here in the office. I was talking it through with him as well, and he goes, "Hey, what do you do for fun since you're up here?" I'm like, "Nothing, bro. Like
Yeah.
I really got nothing going on up here unless it's with other people or if I decide to go to a cigar lounge by myself and read a book. But my mindset up here is like I'm supposed to work because ain't nobody helping me out but me. And back when I was in Tampa, you've seen it, Jackie's seen it. I am happy go lucky, jump off the walls, probably the first person to be like, shots on me. Like all that, but it was because I wasn't worried about rent. I was working a W-2 job that kept me comfortable and I'll admit pay a little bit more on a consistent basis than up here.
Yeah, that's how you stay comfortable.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
being up here, being uncomfortable, that's where it's like I felt if I needed to be comfortable again, I need to have more solid cash flow coming in. And if I don't
Hmm.
have solid cash flow coming in, then it's like red alert. And it's still an adjustment that I'm not used to.
For sure. And I don't want you to feel like comfort is the answer because I don't think that. I think being uncomfortable is crucial for growth and becoming a higher version of yourself. So I'm not saying be comfortable, but figure out ways that maybe aren't eating the best, where you're not, maybe you could consider some more meditation to center yourself and go into every day with, I'm gonna crush today. I've fed myself, I've slept well, I've taken care of me, and I'm at my peak and I'm going to crush it. And I know that's going to come across because whether or not we recognize it, like our energy comes through. You might not be intentionally, or you're not aware of the fact that your energy on the phone with these people is blah, but they can feel it. And that's not going to produce the same results as somebody who's centered, who's ready, who's prepared. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not at your best internally, like it's your, what you put out is also not going to be your best. And then all that's going to do is keep feeding that cycle of, I'm not doing a good job. I'm not doing a good job. I'm not my best. And it's until you give yourself what you need to feel your best, you're going to keep that same cycle going. And it's going to turn into burnout.
Yeah, burnout, crash out, how which way you want to phrase it.
Hmm.
Last week for me it was a crash out, but luckily it wasn't to where I needed a whole week off like some people would. I was
Right.
willing to pick myself back up and get back at it the next day. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of output do I need to do to feel accomplished for the day. And
Hmm.
then once that output is done, go ahead and dial it back, relax, enjoy myself whatsoever.
Because you've
Ever
hit your standard.
say that again?
Because you've hit whatever standard you set for yourself. Yeah.
A
Oh,
form of KPI, if you will.
so you've done an audit of what you're missing. Are you at that point already of this is what I need to keep track of in order to feel like I won my day? Or are
I
you still
love that.
figuring out those numbers?
Still figuring out those numbers because at least when it comes to work offers and such, keeping track of those KPIs, that I already got figured out since I was
Hmm.
Hmm.
so stubborn about that.
Hmm.
But keeping
I
track
don't
of
doubt that.
KPIs, yeah,
I
keeping
don't doubt
track
that you
of
have the business KPIs dialed in. The personal KPIs is what Jackie's asking about.
yeah, the personal KPIs I don't. But luckily I found out about this one app that'll help me stay organized called Notion.
Yeah.
And my media guy, who I'm really good friends with now at this point, he was telling me, hey, like my life literally runs off of Notion. I'm like, really? And he's giving me the full breakdown. Calendar, meal prepping, gym routines and whatnot. You can make a
Mm-hmm.
business CRM out of it if you want to, but it's basically a
Mm-hmm.
CRM for your life if you want to make it that way.
Yeah.
And I found out like the day after I crashed out, I was just trying to look into how to create a schedule, how to keep recipes on here and for what day, and then basically do time blocking again like I used to and felt a little bit more better now since I'm working on making that happen,
Mm-hmm.
setting up my personal KPI. And then now it's more structured instead of we'll see what happens today. Am I feeling pizza? Am I feeling wings? Nah, I got all right, rack of ribs Tuesdays. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. Give yourself grace.
Still working on that element.
I know you are. That's why I
I
have to
think
remind
that's the
you.
biggest part of it too, is, and I don't know like the intricacy of what your day to day and stuff looks like, but from the outside, it seems like you're crushing it. And I'm sure there's things that fall through the cracks or things don't go exactly how you thought they would play out. But I think it does if you remind yourself that, hey, I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing, especially work-wise. Because I feel like that's what you're so hard on yourself that you're letting the other things slip to focus on that thing, but just making sure that, like you said, it's just making time for everything that you want to accomplish so you feel good in all aspects of what you've got going on.
Word
Yeah.
vomit into ChatGPT, literally. Everything you just said to us, like literally word vomit all of that into ChatGPT and say, I'm trying to get my life together. Tell me where I'm dropping the ball so that I can take care of me and my cup is full. And then see what it says. And if you need help with that, holler. I got you.
Yeah, my dad told me to. This was before the crash out, but the other day we're talking about, hey, plug into ChatGPT to see what your fear is. I'm like, huh? He was like, just plug it in, see what you fear the most. I'm like, oh boy.
Mm,
And it gave me something that I didn't realize at first, but then thinking about it, I'm like, ah, shit. It read me like a
yeah,
book.
I know.
It was telling me like the biggest thing that I fear is irrelevance. If I do all of this, would it even matter? Would it be
Hmm.
relevant? I'm like, hit me right in the gut.
And I'm sure I told you that you're not irrelevant.
Yeah, no, it told me it's not. It gave me some pointers to work on as well. And it's interesting because thinking back on it, I see how it pinpoints like what I gave into it as far as, hey, I'm trying to close this deal. What should I say? How should I send out this email? How should I send out this text? What do I need
Hmm.
to do for meal prep? Because I was one of the first people to use ChatGPT years ago. And I
Hmm.
think it's taken into account, oh, how I first talked now to now. How I talk
Hmm.
to it is amazing, to say the least.
Dope.
Trying to see if I can actually pull up that exact thing too.
You got
Oh,
this.
yeah, trying to not crash out. Again, not saying it'll happen today, but just with everything going on, going back to the mirror analysis. If I'm looking at the mirror, who do I see in that mirror? Who is that person that I'm looking at? Who is he as far as what is he doing on a day-to-day basis? What does he see himself now currently based upon how he looks, how he carries himself, how he talks, all that? And if I see that person in the mirror, then I ask myself, am I acting as that person I see myself as? If it's not, ooh, we got some work to do. If it's yeah, then it's like, all right, we're good for now.
Yeah.
Yep. Trying to figure out that ChatGPT prompt, and here we go. So basically, the question I just asked it was based on what you know about me, what am I afraid of? And it goes literally, you fear irrelevance, not failure, not hard work, not even loss. You fear giving your full force and it not mattering.
Yeah.
It's deep.
Oh yeah. Funny we're talking about marrying stuff because I'm like, you really had to go into it, Monica.
Everything in divine timing, my friend. Yeah.
Like,
So now you got to reframe it.
And I'm
yeah.
just gonna say, from my point, hearing you, Daniel, I mean, I know a lot of folks who take the other side when they get there, and it's alcohol, drugs, depression, and you chose the gym, and your dad reached out to you. I think that's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I agree.
There's been a couple times, nice little tequila, but I know better, thankfully, because my parents raised me right. But yeah, that's luckily I was able to transition that energy of going into the other side, like you mentioned, of what a lot of people do, and to just gym towards just work it off. Let that soreness be the bad energy being worked off, and wake up refreshed after I talk to my pillow for the night.
Think
It's
it's
my mom.
also important for you to remember where you're at and where you're trying to go, and just giving yourself grace for that journey because I think sometimes you forget that you're 25 years old and
Seriously.
you're a lot further ahead than most people your age, and you have goals and aspirations and are considerate of those things more so than most people ever take the time to, I didn't want to say ponder, but that's the only word that came to mind.
Yeah, no, I get you.
No, I was
It's
literally, that's so funny that Jackie just said that because I was, as Sheila was talking to you, I was going to be like, do you want to tell Sheila how old you are?
oh yeah,
Because, like, you're good. Like, I've said it before, I'm not worried about you. I don't like that you're crashing out, but also it's part of it. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? There's been so many times where I can look back and be like, that was a rough night because you're just
yeah,
like in this like crazy like self-doubt and what am I even doing all of this for? Is this even going to be worth it? Am I even cut out for this? It's part of it. And you, once you go through a couple, you're just like, it's one of those days. I just need a nap
yeah.
or
No,
I need to go walk it off or whatever. Get rid of this energy because I think life has to remind you that you're just human. And it's one of those like humble moments of you can rock out as hard as you want to, but you are still human and you need to take care of yourself.
boy, I'm starting to imagine you being like my mom right now because that's what she would tell me. Baby, don't forget you're human. Yes, you can work your
And
ass
like
off like a robot.
literally, it's a investment in your goal. This isn't just like smushy, lovey-dovey thing, even though I love you. It's not that. It's you want to have good output, you have to have good input. It's literally just like a rule of life. There's only so far you can rock out without investing back into yourself. So it's not about just being like, oh, honey, take care of yourself. It's literally, bro, I want you to crush it. And in order to crush it, you need to be looking at the thing like this is a self-reflection moment. Clearly, I haven't been investing in myself, and this is what happens. And because you
Yeah.
were raised right, you handled it well, but that doesn't mean that it's not your body being like, hello, sir. I'm a whole like machine that needs proper inputs. And that's not just like physical things, that's also like mental and having that fun time. And it doesn't have to be shots or whatever. It just has to be something that helps you reset yourself. And it's not just work and working out and having KPIs to track.
Yeah, it's for me, gotta keep track of the patterns. And I'm going off of the document that I mentioned too. Like, what patterns do I keep repeating? For the past 3 weeks, past month, and then some, I noticed that one pattern that I had about myself that made me stress out was thinking that I'll be able to get the offers I need for the day, like last minute. Like, I was one of those
Mm,
guys back in school, to give you an idea. If a homework assignment is due on Wednesday and it's Monday, give me like 9:30 p.m. when I'm supposed to be asleep by 10 on
mm-hmm.
Tuesday, and I'll get it done. And then I'll show up the next day and be like, oh, yeah, it's great. Teacher will be like, oh, this is fantastic. So looks like you got a head start. And I'm like, nope, I'm running on
Yeah.
30 hours of sleep, chief. Forget
Right. Yeah, but I feel like there's something because I'm a procrastinator too, and I do my best work under pressure.
it.
So it's about knowing that about yourself and applying it properly.
So being
So
proactive.
yeah, and applying that same pressure you put on yourself for 4 o'clock, I got to get this done. Set a new standard for noon, I got to get this done.
Yeah,
And then if you do, amazing. And if you don't, then you still have till 4 o'clock to get it done. But if you know that about yourself, if you know that under pressure you work better, then creating a new pressure point is what's going to help you not wait till 4. Because then you might be able to do two. You know what I'm saying? Like you might be able to double it because you've applied pressure earlier as well. But you have to, instead of a lot of times people want to criticize that part about themselves, it's like it works. And so I just know a new fact about me that now I can apply in my benefit.
yeah, applying that pressure, like you
Hmm.
mentioned. And now,
Act like you're going to log out at 1 o'clock. My day ends at 1. What am I going to do?
good point. I haven't really thought about that because my thing was like, if the sun's still up, I'm gonna still work. If the sun's down, then it's like, all right, I could probably rest. That was the only consistent time frame that I was trying to work with. But I'm trying to now where I'm at, eliminate some bad habits, eliminate some patterns. Oh, if this is stressing me out, I'm gonna do this action. Oh, I'm haven't been able to make that many calls in the past hour, and I'll scroll and wait for the clock to reset. Nope, just still make calls. New pattern that I'm trying to
Hmm.
do now is Sundays, no matter if I'm at the past split or if I'm back at the house with family in Tampa, still meal prep. So that way I don't have to stress about like, all right, I'm hungry. Let me walk across Wawa, get like a $5 sub. Then I'm gonna feel shitty during lunch and probably carb crash and just let me take a nap
Hmm.
and then not make as many calls and then doom scroll later on because I didn't make that many calls. Like trying to figure out the chain of events if I do one thing is insane that I've been able to get it down to that level for myself. Because if you asked me like a couple years ago, I've been like, nah, I'm good. I work retail is crazy. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Whatever happens. Now I was like,
Hmm.
no, God, no. We need structure, baby. We
It's a whole different set of rules when you're the one that's pushing you.
absolutely. And then on top of that too, it's just I'm trying to. Because I'm going off the document too. Where is my external reality reflecting self-doubt or fear? Part of that, if I'm reading that correctly, would be. Let me ask you this: what would you define external reality as?
Like literally what's happening right now. The fact that
Mm,
you're not hitting your KPIs and you're not making the money that you want. The fact that your living situation might not be what you want because you're not hitting your KPIs. Like anything outside of you that a lot of people use to create an excuse, like, oh, it's where I live. Mark and I, our guilty pleasure is like watching these terrible dating shows. And these people would be like, ugh, the dating pool in Tucson is trash. And it's no, it's not. There's plenty of people having great time having dating wherever you're talking about, but you want to blame your dating pool because you're not looking at yourself and the way that you're showing up and the people that you're surrounding yourself and whatever. And
right.
so how is your external factors that you might say is the reason you haven't done this, but if you're like, it's because I live in Orlando. No, people are making lots of money in Orlando. That's not true. And so it's
Right.
challenging the things that you see as your external reality and reflecting it back on yourself. I didn't go to the gym for 5 days, and so I gained the weight that I lost back. Like those are things that you can look internally and say, I haven't done XYZ to create the output that I'm looking for. Anything in your external is self-created.
In that case, one big event that happened last week that caused me to crash out, I got locked out of my car for the first time,
Mm.
which added stress to me, and I had to pay the locksmith like $70 when he came over.
Which you're
Yeah.
not making good money, so that's even extra annoying.
Oh yeah. Cause
See?
and it was
Yeah.
the first time it happened too. And I'm looking at it going like, how the I'm like, as soon as I realized it, luckily I still have my phones on me. I didn't have it in my butt bag or anything like that. It'll stay on my pocket. And so I'm opening up the door. What the No. He's still
Mm-hmm.
in my book bag. And then I'm calling up dad. Hey man, is there any way I can open up a BMW secretly with my key inside? He goes, it's locked. I'm like, nope. Yeah, it's locked. It's locked. And then that just added another stress to it towards that could have been Chipotle for a $10 bowl for a week just in case. So
Mm-hmm.
it's stressing out. Another external factor would be
So before you talk about that external factor, what do you think caused that internally?
what, as far as me being locked out?
Yeah.
Probably getting too comfortable with having my keys on the bag.
Okay. You don't think it might
And
be like distractions?
no, none
Okay.
whatsoever. I say
Okay.
that because prior, when I was working in retail, I did have a uniform I wear, belt, had this little
Mm-hmm.
belt loop thing, keep my keychain on there, and that's it. That was my usual routine. And then when I moved up here, I wore mainly shorts, jeans, but no need for a belt or whatnot, no need to look prim and proper to an extent. But instead of clipping the key onto my belt loop or clipping it onto my shorts because I'm afraid it might tear the fabric, I would put it onto my bag. And it was fine because normally a key fob, especially BMW one, is where if a key fob is inside the Beamer, it's supposed to not lock on you whatsoever.
I agree.
But in this case, it did. And I'm looking at it
Mm.
going, what did I do? Did I press anything up against the door frame for the car to be
Mm-hmm.
locked or anything like that? And I was like, no. Okay, what did I do differently? I put the bag in the car, the door opened, I pressed a lock button on the inside of the center console to unlock the other side of the door. The locks came up. I'm like, all right, cool. Then I closed the door. Ah, that's the only thing I could probably figure out of what was different to where I made a point
Mm-hmm.
to press the lock button instead of
Mm-hmm.
unlocking it fully. And from then on, I'm like, all right, keychain on my shorts, jeans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn. I'm out and
Mm-hmm.
about. It's staying on me.
Mm-hmm. The only reason I asked that was whenever I catch myself doing what I would consider like dumb, irresponsible things, like I've locked myself out of the house before I got keypad locks, like things like
Hmm.
that, where it would happen like something I would never do. I've never done that before. How did this happen? And if I look back and I really answer that question, it's because I was distracted in my head, cycling bad narratives or worrying or like in an anxiety spiral. And it's so your mind's not focused on the things that are typically I'm a very responsible person. I am organized. How did this happen? And it's always because I'm stuck in some sort of anxiety, fear, whatever. And so that's why I was wondering about the distractions part, because
Mm.
oftentimes that's when I start making dumb mistakes. And it's a good reminder of, hey, you need to center. You need to get back on having your mind clear so that you're not making dumb mistakes.
No, I get
So
you
that's,
there. Mentally, I would probably say before that even happened, I was probably thinking about my KPI for the day.
yeah,
And since you bring it up, that probably could be what it, as far as anything physically to the key fob, no, but I guess that energy transference into what happened would have been just like, all right, you want to be like that? Yeah, we'll add on to it. Like, really?
yeah.
There's that. That will be the biggest one that sticks out to me. I can't recall anything else in my environment that would be stressing me out other than a messy room, unless you want to count that as well, because I did make it a point to clean up the pad split room that I stay at Sunday almost all day just where it's like, all right, if I'm going to be in a different mindset, I need to have a different room. So let me clean it up. I mean, would you
It's a
count
huge
that?
indicator. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
part of the life. Your life is a mirror, 100%.
Yeah.
Your
All right.
internal is a mess, so your external is a mess. Like it's especially if it's not something you're typically living in. If you're not typically just like this disaster, messy room type person, and all of a sudden you look around, this is not, what is this? And it's because you've been somewhere else mentally and you're not on your normal thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I try to keep it
So this
clean.
is all the ways your life is like, hello.
No, I would agree. Because I can definitely clean up my room, absolutely, and try to maintain it. And then just over time, if I'm aloof, say, oh, I need to go back to the room, change into gym clothes, throw my clothes over on one part of the floor, and then head out. Then by the time I come back in, then it's like, I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow. Or if I need to go grocery shopping, and then I can leave them on the kitchen counter, but then I have some bags that are meant for my room, put on the floor, and then same thing, like just set it to the side. I'll take care of it later. I'm the kind of person to where like I have to take care of it now. The more I push it off, the more it's gonna be like building up, and it reaches peak to where I was like, yeah, this needs to go. This needs to clean up. Luckily, I got to that point.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Again, you denied your normal, like I need to do it now, right? You
Hmm.
know that about you, and you weren't doing it. And
Yeah,
so again, your external environment is, hello,
I would.
I'm gonna keep showing you all the ways that you're not being true to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would say now since I'm thinking about it too, external factors when other people can see it, I'm usually pretty good about it. Say for instance, my Instagram, right? Or better yet, another example would be dishes at the pad split. I try to make it a point not to leave any dishes behind in the sink whatsoever. So that way my roommates don't say anything. But when it comes to something private like my room, behind closed doors, oh, it's a mess. If you were to walk in, you'll be like, what the hell, Daniel, is this going on
Mm,
here? This is what's going on in your head? Shit, man. It'll be like that, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're neglecting you. You're being
yeah,
considerate of other people but yourself. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. Can't
Hmm.
tell you how many times my roommates would probably leave a mess or leave something out, and I'm like, really? Just cook my dinner, clean up after myself, in case this becomes an argument. I have that as evidence.
So you said meal prep is one of the things you want to focus on to get yourself back on alignment. What are two other things that you've thought of?
Going back to the gym for starters, because believe it or not, for the past month almost, I haven't gone, only because I wanted to start a new routine of waking up early to be at the gym at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And my mindset was, if I don't go in the morning, then I don't get to go ever. And if I don't get to go ever, then I don't deserve to go unless it's going to be in the morning because I got things to do in the afternoon. So I was like, either all in or nothing.
Were you
Fell
not on
way
our perfectionist call?
Oh, I was. I just chose not to speak up because I was going through some things at the time. I leaned way too much into the nothing side, and I would definitely 100% say that me not going to the gym, regardless if it was in the morning or afternoon, helped contributed to my crash out last week. So I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, nah,
Absolutely.
I gotta go. No matter what time, I gotta go.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's the meal prepping, the gym. Let's see what your third thing is.
My third thing would be what I haven't done before, but I'm about to start doing now is plan out my outfits for the following day. It's a routine that I used to do back in high school because I was in ROTC
Hmm.
and I will try to iron my uniform shirt, get it looking nice so that way by the time I wake up, I don't have to worry about it. I'm just shower, do my hygiene, get dressed, go. The mornings that I'm waking up here, fast forward a few years now, 25 years old, I would sometimes pick out my outfit last minute. I'm like, oh, shirt, shorts, done, whatever. Not give a care in the world. And sometimes I'll forget my gym outfit. Oh, I'll go out to the gym later on today. I should do this. Or, oh, damn it, I should have done laundry. I don't have shorts. Yeah, we're still good. Only once or twice. But,
Dude move.
uh, yeah, dude stuff. Sorry, Ray, for exposing the secrets. But,
We already
no,
know.
but all jokes aside, it's just me not preparing for the next day the night before. Almost back in like a culinary term that I used to do, mise en place, get your items before you start cooking
Hmm.
between what you're going to cook with, ingredients, and also pots, pans, utensils. And then when you start, then you're cooking properly. And then always clean up after yourself, but get ready for the next day. I wasn't doing that. I was just trying to be like Hell's Kitchen. All right, what do I have before me? Let me work with this. We got this. Live my life chaotically. And third thing that I've been doing, going full circle, was not prepping for the day before, which I feel definitely contributed to me feeling like crap the following day, getting off on
Hmm.
the wrong foot of not being prepared. So luckily, not only am I starting to prep my outfits, but finally bought an ironing board and an iron so that way I
Mm,
can iron my clothes since it comes out the dryer in a washer wrinkly as hell. That
Hmm.
looking nice for the next day. So then when I wake up, I'm like, oh, all right, I'm wearing that. I gotta pack up this. Toys are charged, like laptop, headphones, whatever, for the day. Boom, boom, out the door, 5 minutes. And so like
nice.
15 minutes trying to put on my sock. I'm like, oh shit.
No, that's good. All that sounds really good. I think if you just implement those three things, and I'd encourage you to make it a checklist thing so that you're making sure you're accomplishing these every day. But it really just sounds like exactly what you said earlier is that you haven't been prioritizing yourself. I think especially like you of all people, I think the gym is a staple in your routine and it should
Mm,
never be something that you use as an ultimatum for anything. Like that should be something that you're cognizant and intentional about including in your day, however you have to get it done. So yeah, I think you're on the right track. Sometimes we have to feel those like and it's not necessarily a full out rock bottom, but like this pitfall
Mm-hmm.
of like, what am I doing? Where am I at? Where am I going? And just be like, you know what? There's just some things I haven't been prioritizing lately that I just need to start re-including into my routine. And hearing you talk, all I could think about was like, don't leave for tomorrow what you can do today. And just keeping that mindset with, honestly, I'd encourage you to look at Mel Robbins. She has a really good, I think it's a podcast of like her nighttime routine. And she talks about how having your nighttime routine, like you can't even have a morning routine without a night routine. Like your morning routine starts at night. And so kind
Mm-hmm.
of just getting into that mindset of setting yourself up for success every day. Because that's going to alleviate a lot of the stressors and things that you're feeling like, whether whatever it is, I'm not doing enough, I'm not getting everything accomplished that I want to get accomplished. Like just doing those three things that you mentioned will help with a lot of other things.
For sure. I feel like I heard you say things that all kind of align together. Like one, the chaos is not beneficial to you. Some people thrive in chaos. I'm not one of them. Doesn't sound like you
no.
are either. So pretty much everything that you spoke about is all about making sure you're ready and
Mm.
prepped and that you're ahead of time. And so like feeling like whatever this looks like for you, how you sketch out your like things that you want to prep ahead of time. Maybe it's a Sunday thing where you get your all your food ready, you create a grocery list, you create a schedule for the rest of the week. I am building my week the way that I want to. And so if that means I have to leave work an hour early, I think you have a flexible schedule, right? Somewhat, or no, you have to leave at a specific time. It's like hours to hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, we can be flexible, but details. Keep going.
Fine. So whatever that looks like that's reality. But mapping out your week so that there's no excuse like the gym clothes stay in the car. My food is ready to go. My keys are where they're supposed to be. My clothes are ready so that no matter what happens or things might shift, like you're still ready and you're still able to do the things that you're committed to ahead of time. And so that it feels less chaotic and anything else that is happening around you, it doesn't matter because you've got food in the fridge, you've got clean clothes, like you're ready. And then you feel in order. And so that helps create less of that chaos around you because it might not feel like a big deal to have things out of order or whatever, but all of that is information that's feeding into your brain and it's creating this, oh, I should clean that. Oh, I should get to that. And that's just like mental clutter that you don't need. And so having it done ahead of time, even if it is like letting your whatever that standard is for you, if you let your room go to shit every week and then Sunday it comes back to order, that is what it is. But at least you have your base so that you can feel like you're committing whatever the things that you've told yourself you're going to commit to and not being so hard on yourself. That's not helping you. It's not serving you. All it's
Oh, I'm
doing
trying
is
so hard, I
adding to the
promise.
metal. I know, but just adding to the mental clutter and it's adding to the woulda, shoulda, couldas. And that's so exhausting and you're not accomplishing anything during that time. And so woulda, shoulda, couldas don't feed you. Woulda, shoulda, couldas don't accomplish anything. All it does is make you feel shitty about yourself and that shitty people don't accomplish things.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I would probably say, as far as me being hard on myself, part of it stems from how I portray myself and people do see it. Oh, yeah, like Daniel's really dedicated to his craft. Daniel is really striving to go for these things. And a manner, in one way or another, somehow, some way, years ago, when I got this in my head to where, oh, I need to start getting serious about what I want to do, perfectionism. Now, I can easily say, because I do understand it, oh, not everything's going to be perfect. I'm not going to close every single deal with every single seller I talk to for the lowest price possible. I get that. I'm not going to be able to have it to where every single day I got my meals prepped up. I might have to go out once in a while just because of a last minute meeting. And I'm like, shit, I got to meet up a buddy for lunch. And then I got this meal. I could probably save for dinner. I understand that. But then there's another part of me towards if I don't do it, then I'm gonna talk to myself, and then it's gonna be like, dude, you had it planned out, you veered off track. The hell?
Mm.
And that's where I was downhill for mindset.
It all goes to shit.
Oh yeah. It all goes to
Right.
shit. And especially on days where I don't go to the gym, because if there's one constant I found out about myself, which Jackie hit it right on the head, if there's one
Mm-hmm.
staple in my life, it has to be the gym. If I don't get that, we're done so. We're so done
Mm-hmm.
so. That's like my therapy session. If I don't have my therapy session, so for the past month I didn't have my therapy, oh dear God, it's no wonder why I crashed out last week.
Yeah,
Mm.
simple.
I like the quote Monica has at the end of the document of the outside always follows the inside. And I think that exactly what you're sharing. And I appreciate you for just being willing to be vulnerable enough to give us some insight and be able to look at this document and see the real life perspective of the whole thing, like the mindset shift, the reframe, and where you're at now, that you've gotten these things that you can realign yourself with and stay on track with. And I'm excited for what you have to come for sure.
It's
Uh,
all feedback, my friend. That's all it is.
yeah,
It's all feedback. And it's just saying, keep neglecting me if you want to. Like, I'm going to keep showing you that I don't deserve to be neglected. So do what you got to do. But once you see it, like you've recognized it, this, like Jackie said, like you've let us create and turn this into a Daniel coaching call. But because we care that.
absolutely.
And it's because I don't want you to beat yourself up. I want you to take it as feedback and be like, okay, I see what I need to do. I know what is going to help me move this needle forward. And these are the things that are my priorities. Everything else goes to crap. I don't know if that is helpful for you to create a journal it out and say, what are my top three priorities? And everything else falls to the wayside. And you have to keep that commitment to yourself. If it's the gym, then guess what? You're not going to go to dinner with your homies. You're not going to go whatever. This has to happen first. Then I can go do that.
No, I agree. There's got to be a lot of people would say sacrifices made, and I wouldn't try to put it on there. There has to be
I wouldn't say
sacrifices. I would say
sacrifices. I would say priorities because then it puts it on the positive.
I was gonna flip it and be like, there's got to be some give and take. Okay, if you want to do
Mhm.
this, what do you got to take away? And if you take this away, what do you have to give for it?
What's most valuable to you?
Yeah. In essence, I should probably start my own 75 hard, but then relabel it Daniel's Stay Hard.
I don't
You
love
might
it.
need a new name,
I don't love it.
Oh, sh
but you're on the right track.
yeah. The list of priorities. We'll stick with Monica's suggestion. I just
Yeah.
had it click. Oh boy, this coffee wore off quick.
As your agent, I don't love it.
Yeah, as my agent. Oh dear God. But I get what you mean. The list of priorities, we'll call it that. We'll call it a list of priorities. No, that's actually something that I was coming up with on the Notion app that I told you guys about too. It had this
Notion's
like,
great.
oh bro, I found a template where it's like, what's your daily habit tracker? I'm like, ooh, my
Hmm.
top three. And
And
I'm
you
gonna
can tell ChatGPT to create you a Notions template and it will do it for you. So use it together.
The first thing, I hope you guys feel special about this. I feel like this is worthy of sharing. The first thing I had it try to help me create was like, hey, Note ChatGPT, help me create a calendar within Notion to schedule reoccurring Zoom meetings on Tuesdays for mindset with Monica and Jackie. And I was like, all right, here's how you can do it. I'm like, yay. And then I found out that it has its own calendar app separately. I'm like, ah, now you tell me. But I was trying to figure that out. And
I love it.
there's a reason why I try to show up on Tuesdays for you guys. I can't tell you how many times I've told off people, oh, let's go to the gym. And you've heard me try to attend the Zoom meetings months ago while I'm
Mm.
at the gym. And you guys are probably thinking, oh, what's going on? I went to the gym. And then finally, I'm like, dude, screw you. I need my 7 to 8 on Tuesdays. We can talk afterwards.
I love
That actually happened earlier today, too. Calling one of my boys.
We'll take.
He's like, yeah, man, can we do the gym at 7:30? No,
We're gonna chop this up and use it in an ad.
it.
whatever you need. I just need a haircut first.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, no, I'm proud of you, Daniel. I think you should be proud of you too. I think
Thank you.
Ray's kind of similar in that he's very hard on himself, and it takes a lot for him to see the positives of things that he's doing sometimes. It's very easy to spot the negatives for most people, but I think guys like you in particular that tend to be harder on yourselves in general, you really have to be careful about that because, and all it takes is just that simple mindset shift or the perspective of somebody else that can be like, don't miss out on all these other things. Don't poo-poo on everything just because you feel bad about one thing. There's still so much other good that's there.
I agree. Thank you.
Yeah. You ready for a meditation, Monica?
Let's do it.
Sweet.
Yes, even though my name's not Monica.
Okay.
You got this.
All right.
Let's get into a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes. And we're going to start by taking some deep breaths in through the nose into our belly and filling it up, filling our lungs, and then slowly exhaling all of the air, using our abdominal muscles to really push out all the air. Get rid of everything that no longer serves you. Stale energy, old air from throughout the day. Studies show that we rarely fully exhale our breath. So as we're being intentional, let's really make sure we're empty and are able to receive that fresh breath. And as you exhale, you may feel your shoulders lower, relax, and your jaw unclench. Your face smooth, relaxed. One more deep inhale and slow exhale. And I want you to imagine yourself standing in front of a mirror. But instead of seeing yourself, you see the life that you're living, the day, and the way that you're living. And the person that you're looking at is familiar, but it's not you. And you can tell by looking at them that they're not 100% satisfied. That maybe they want more. They want to feel centered, aligned, and at ease. They're in a flow state. That's what they want to be in. They're craving to be in a more smooth schedule. Their days are exactly the way they want them to be. And I want you to lovingly tell them what you observe as they move throughout their day. Where are they rushing? Where are they neglecting themselves in service of others? Where are they more concerned about how something looks than what would serve them best? Maybe they're imposing limiting beliefs on themselves. or someone else's schedule, or someone else's expectations. Maybe they're afraid to make a pivot because of what things people will say, or that they'll feel like a quitter. Maybe things didn't turn out the way they thought, and they're afraid to admit that they made a bad decision. They're just doing what they're supposed to be doing. And because it's not you that you're looking at, you can easily spot these things. Often we're afraid to tell ourselves that it's okay to change our minds. It doesn't matter what others think. But deep down inside, you know that it's your life, and your life is built by your choices and your decisions. And regardless of what people think, it is your life to live. And these choices and these decisions, you will have to live out. And so you can lovingly call this person on the other side of the mirror and sit down in front of the mirror with them and have the conversation that no one else is willing to have, that no one else can have. You know where you want to go. You know what you want your life to look like. And even though you may not know the steps how to get there, you can clearly see the things that are not moving you forward, the things that are not filling your cup, the things that are not feeding your soul, filling your heart, bringing you joy, elevating your energy to a place where you can accomplish anything. You also know all of the things that will. So instead of blaming or shaming or feeling guilty for all of the things that may not be going right, this is your chance to course correct. This is your chance to imagine a new day, a new routine, a new schedule, new priorities. And you can have this conversation as often as you want. You can have this conversation every night before you go to sleep. Play your day back like a movie. Pay attention to where your energy dipped, and where your energy soared. Give yourself the gift of more of the things that are in alignment, more of the things that create the sense of energy, the sense of alignment. Time flies, you're in flow, your mind is awake and alive, your body is filled with energy. More of that. And simply because of nature and time, the more you do the things that create alignment, that feel like you are priority, the less time you'll have for everything else. There will be no need for elimination. It will naturally happen when you invest time and energy into the things that bring you closer to who you know you're meant to be. As you get up from your conversation with the person in the mirror, with yourself, promise them that tomorrow is a new day, that they are the priority, that you see them and you see how hard they're working, how hard they're trying, and you're proud of them. Dwelling on the places that we weren't prioritized is wasted energy. And we deserve all our energy moving forward, onward, higher. Breathe into that commitment to yourself. Two more times. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. My wish for you tonight is to love and appreciate yourself. I appreciate you, Jackie, and I appreciate you all coming and sharing your energy with us, sharing your time. Investing this time in yourself. The light in me sees and recognizes the light in each of you. Namaste. Feel free to stretch a little bit, wiggle your fingers and toes, crack your neck, whatever feels good. And slowly open your eyes and come back.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Monica. It was a good call for sure. Again, thank you, Daniel, for being willing to share. I thought it was really cool how we were able to go side by side with what you were going through and with the document that we had. So that
A-
was awesome.
Absolutely.
It was interesting to be put on the hot seat.
Was it too much?
No, it honestly wasn't. It's just a new
Okay.
experience for me because I'm always like the audience, and then being the person for the hot seat today, I was like, ah, shit,
Yeah,
guest policy.
okay, good. Because I don't want it to feel like if people share that they're going to be put on the hot seat. But I feel like we know you and we know you can take it. And you seemed open and receptive to it. But I definitely don't want it to be this concept that if people share that it's going to be like, okay, I think, unless they're open for it. So,
But it's nothing like that. It was more so my interpretation of it, and on top of that, I'm willing to share with you guys because, like you said, we do know each other. And so, me personally, I was like, all right, it's Monica, it's Jackie, homegirls, what up, y'all? So go ahead and share, and then if needed to expand upon it, dive a little bit deeper, see what's up, and get an outside perspective as well, which is very, very nice.
Cool. Yeah, and you know, you can always reach us whenever.